Hello and welcome to Sujith Talks. My name is Sujith Billa. I'm a registered migration agent here in Australia. This video is about the 65 points thing in the SkillSelect. So what you should know about the 65 points. Firstly, 65 points, who is affected by this? Is it the 199 visa aspirants or is it the 190 or 489 visa aspirants? It looks like it's more 190 and 489 than the 199 because in the last 6 months we saw 70 to 75 as a cutoff for 189 and not many invitations were issued in 189. Apparently this will affect people who are looking for 190s, especially from the age group of 18 to 24, 40 to 45, and you could say 33 to 39 as well. So there's this connection between how much you have to score in English language test to get to that 65. Also, who would this affect? Does it mean that if you had 60 before July 1st, 2018, are you still eligible to be getting a chance to be invited? Certainly not, because this will affect all the EOIs that were lodged before 1st July, after 1st July, on 1st July. All the EOIs will require now 65 points to get invited. If it's a 190, it will be 60 plus 5, and if it's 489, 55 plus 5. So what you should understand is not to see this as a way to cut immigration numbers. This should be seen from a historical perspective. When the SkillSelect was introduced in 2012, it was the Labour government, not the Liberal government in power. And they have come up with this SkillSelect. It was a time when Julia Gillard was the Prime Minister and Chris Bowen was the Immigration Minister. And they said it's going to be 65 points for SkillSelect because the system before SkillSelect was a way that the migrants could actually apply the visa directly instead of waiting for this invitation thing. There was no EOI. So what was the point score then? It was 65 actually. So they wanted to continue the 65 in the SkillSelect as well. But due to public reaction, they have dropped it from 65 to 60. The public reaction was that it requires more English language test score, which means more IELTS score, because there was no PTE in place in 2012. It was the IELTS monopoly, and it was a time when I made a video in Telugu, my mother tongue. I was saying that it's very hard for migrants to get 8 each in IELTS so as to get to that 65, especially people who have come here to study a master's degree. And there's this general misconception that if you come to Australia, your English will increase and then you'll score more in IELTS or PTE. But I say it need not be, it necessarily will not happen, because if you come here, if you make connections with the local community and talk to them in English, which is the national language, and as this is an English-speaking country, if you talk to them and show your conversational English skills and read the newspaper and write, obviously listen to news and what's going on here, your English will be increased. But if you're living in a segregated society, like most of us do, we only live next to our friends who are from the same country, who speak the same language, and often than not, we get a job by reference, and that reference again is from the local community. It's not from the Australian community, it's from the same community where we come from. So most of the times, even at workplaces, we speak in a different language to that of English. And obviously when we come home, we watch the movies, media stories, and other things which are our hobbies in the same language most of the times. So I was saying in that video, it's very, very hard for us to get that 8 band in IELTS. And as I said before, the government dropped from 65 to 60, and they said the EOI required 60 to get invited. Minimum. It's not a guarantee that if you have 60 to be picked and you will get invited. So this is a very important thing, my dear viewers and prospective migrants. Just because you made the threshold points doesn't mean that your EOI will get invited. And EOI is not a visa application. So what I'm trying to get at in this video is that the 65 points thing shouldn't be taken as a big surprise, because it was actually 65 before, and this is not related to any racist attack on migrants, or it is not a way to curb the immigration numbers. What they're talking these days is the conversational English and the importance of having conversational English for migrants, and they're looking at an conversational English test in the citizenship application, or it could be for people who are trying to get permanent residence. We do not know more than that. So I've recently listened to an interview by the Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs on SBS radio. So he was saying this about the conversational English. Conversational English is very, very important, and what you have to do is, once you come to Australia, make connections with the local community, join in local clubs, whatever you like. There are different ways to do it, and speak to them and know from them what's about Australia. So the conclusion in this video is that do not be scared of the 65 points thing. Our migrants are very strong, so if they say you need to get this many points, we'll just figure it out how to get those points. So what's stopping you now? My advice to all the prospective migrants who just finished their bachelor's degree and wanting to get a master's degree, stay there for a couple or more years, get some work experience. Meanwhile, try to improve your English skills. Write the English tests multiple times. Give yourself 1 to 2 years just to work and get that score, and the score will be valid for a few years. And also improve your conversational English. So stop talking in the regional language and start talking in English. Make friends online. There are lots of ways to do it. And in this internet age, it should not be difficult for you. So all the best, guys. Work on your English, work on your work experience points, and see that you come here with an open mind and being ready to take up the challenge of finding a job in Australia. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Sujith Billa. I'm a registered migration agent here in Australia. If you wanted immigration advice, do not hesitate to contact me. You can go to my website sujithtalks.com and schedule a phone consultation. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe to my channel Sujith Talks on YouTube. Click on the bell icon to get notified. Till then, it's goodbye from here in Australia. My name is Sujith Billa, a registered migration agent.